Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the 30-liter version of the Bellroy Lite Travel Pack. We recently took a look at the larger 38-liter size and I was really impressed with how well that worked as a one-bag travel option, particularly the fact that it could hold so much and still not look super bulky. And so that definitely piqued my interest in the smaller 30-liter size, as it seemed like it could be a really interesting minimal travel bag, potentially even a personal item. And I was also curious to see how this would compare to the recently released Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro, which came out in a 28-liter size, which seemed to be pretty close to this. And so, in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about how the two bags compare to each other, how this compares to the larger 38-liter size, and I'm just going to be walking through what it's been like to use it over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, talk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. The aesthetic, the layout, and the materials for the 30-liter Lite Travel Pack are pretty much the same as the ones on the 38-liter version that I did a full review for. I'll make sure to link to that in the description below if you want to check it out, and I won't go into as much detail here. Overall, I still really like the appearance of this series. It's very minimal, but it feels a little more rugged, kind of like the Venture backpacks that Bellroy has been coming out with. So I think that it blends in well into a variety of environments while you're traveling. And then the materials manage to stay impressively lightweight, more so on the 30-liter bag because it's a little bit smaller. They're still very flexible, which allows them to mold around the items that are on the inside while still providing a nice amount of weather resistance and durability. You also have the well-protected YKK zipper on the main compartment, the quick access pocket, and then you still have YKK zippers on the other compartment, just not aqua guarded. You have the really nice handles along the exterior, on the side, on the top, and then no water bottle pocket on this one either, which is probably the one sort of con of these bags, is that it does seem like there would have been space for one, but it was not included. And then taking a look at the primary difference between the two versions of the Lite Travel Pack, which is the size. The version that I have here comes in at 30 liters. The larger version comes in at 38 liters. And I really enjoyed using that 38-liter size. That's something that would work very well for one bag travel, for placing it into an overhead storage compartment across a number of different airlines. The 30-liter size I've always found to be interesting because it's a little bit large as an everyday carry bag and also as a personal item on many of the stricter airlines, but it can work well as a longer weekend travel bag. This version though, I was very intrigued by because of the structure and the form factor of the bag. It actually ends up feeling a little bit smaller than some of the other 30-liter bags that I've used. The capacity itself still feels like 30-liter, but just the silhouette while I'm wearing it has felt a little bit more manageable. This is something that I would feel pretty comfortable using as a day-to-day bag, more so than some of the other 30-liter bags that I've used, which is one of the things that really appealed for me about it. And I like that because it has this sort of slimmer silhouette. It never feels overwhelmingly bulky, even when it's more packed out, which makes it great for navigating crowded areas and jumping onto public transit. As I was using this also made me think of the Bellroy Transit Workpack, the 28-liter size that we looked at recently, as that was another great EDC bag that's a little bit larger than some of the typical everyday carry bag that come in at 22 to 24 liters, but it didn't feel that big or bulky. And so here you can see them side by side to get a sense of the difference that those 2 liters might make. But in my opinion, they both feel fairly similar and pretty manageable for when you need to have an everyday carry bag that's just a little bit larger. Moving into the harness system, like I mentioned with the larger version of this bag, I found this very comfortable to wear. I really like how the straps have been implemented here. They have a very nice soft padding. Bellroy has actually come out with a couple of new harnesses between the Transit Workpack Pro, the updated edition of the Transit Workpack, and this bag here. And I think they've all been improvements on what they had in the past, but this has kind of been my favorite just with how cushy this padding feels. It also has a nice level of breathability. It doesn't feel quite as robust as the one on the Transit Workpack Pro. The padding there is just a little bit thicker and also heavier. That's one of the things with this bag, but I feel like there wasn't really a huge trade-off as far as the comfort, even though you're getting something that's lightweight. There's no load lifters on it, which I typically don't mind, especially for the 30-liter version of this bag. And then you have an adjustable sternum strap that you can use to give you a little bit more support. and you can either remove this, you can switch this from one side to the other depending on how you prefer to attach it. And then you have some strap management and the ability to hide the straps away if you don't want them to get tangled on anything, if you're placing this into an overhead storage compartment. And so this is the other part of these bags that I was a little bit worried about, is these loops are a little thin. I'm not as worried about it on the 30-liter size, so that's another improvement here. This is a very strong feeling material, but it's just something that I'll continue to keep an eye on as I use the bags more, but very easy to convert this if you want to hide the straps away. And then you have really great padding on the back panel, very similar to what's on the straps. Nice breathability, not a ton of elevation, so there's not a deep air channel like I typically like to see, but it still felt great as I've been wearing this. And then you have the luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back, which makes a little bit more sense on this size in my opinion. And then jumping into the organization, which as I mentioned earlier, is pretty much the same as what we saw on the 38-liter size. It's all just shrunken down a little bit. So you still have the excellent top quick access pocket with the well-protected zipper. I love the volume that's offered here. I was able to place a ton of stuff, even in the smaller size. So I have my Tom Bin Ghost Well pouch. I have a pair of sunglasses. I have a headlamp in here. And then on the back, you still have the same slip pocket where I have my charging cable, as well as a pair of AirPods, and then a little slot for a pen, and you still have the lanyard with a clip for your keys. And then below that, you have the zippered pocket to another voluminous compartment here. And in this area, I was able to store the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter, the Griffin edition in wax canvas. And then I have a packable blanket from Matador and my memo bottle. Since this doesn't have an external water bottle pocket, this was able to fit in here comfortably. Perfect form factor for this pocket if you do prefer to take a water bottle with you. You still have the dedicated laptop area on the back, which offers a pretty good amount of protection for the weight of this bag. It's pulled up a little bit off the bottom of the ground. Nice amount of space. Definitely my 14-inch MacBook Pro will fit in here comfortably, and maybe even something a little bit larger. I like the orientation here. It matches up with the handle and the luggage pass-through, so really nice implementation there. And then moving into the main compartment, you have the suitcase style opening. If I was trying to use this as a daily carry bag, I would just open it from the top and maybe try to leverage this pocket, leave this open so that I could access my daily items a little bit easier. But as a travel bag, it's great that you can open this up, and then resting here at the top, I have packing cube with an extra pair of shoes that I like to have with me, and then the same layout. So you have this mesh zippered pocket here, and I really love the volume that's provided. This is pretty much a built-in packing cube, so you could use this to store underwear, socks, clothing, jackets. I didn't place my shoes into here just because I have them in the packing cube for an extra bit of protection since they're a little dirtier. And then you have the additional pocket above that, which is just perfectly sized for something like a DOP kit. So this is the Air DOP kit that I have here, which fits comfortably, but any other sort of pouches or accessories that you want to use this for. If I was using this as a daily bag, this might be where I place some of my tech items, laptop charger, and things like that. So really like the implementation here. And then on the other side, you have a zippered divider to separate out your primary sort of clothing compartment. And the 30-liter size is perfect for my packing cube setup with the Peak Design packing cubes. I have the smaller version here on top, and then the larger packing cube on the bottom, and those fit perfectly on the inside here. You can see no compression straps or additional organization. So really simple, but that's what makes this bag so flexible and able to hold so much, even though it doesn't feel like a huge bag. And then of course, the last little touch here is you have the Bellroy tag, which can hold an air tag to give you just a little bit more protection for your bag. So absolutely love the form factor here. I already liked it with the 38-liter size. And speaking of the 38-liter travel pack, just to do a quick side-by-side comparison, I have it here. And so you saw that the packing cubes that I had in the smaller one will be able to fit into the 38-liter size very easily. And I just want to showcase how much leftover space is going to be there once I load it out. So here is the medium packing cube, and then the small. So both of those squeeze into there. And then you still have this section here at the top. On the 30 liter, it was pretty much just collapsed in. It reached to the top. Here I could actually fit the top kit and then save the compartment on the other side for an extra thing that didn't previously fit, because that's where I had the pouch. So hopefully that gives a sense of the difference between the 38 liter and the 30 liter size as far as the capacity. And then you could see how there's just a little bit more height on the quick access pockets as well. And then the last thing that I want to showcase here is kind of a sample loadout and comparison with the 28 liter Transit Workpack Pro, which I have here in the green colorway. And so this has a clamshell style opening versus the suitcase style, but you know, still very travel friendly. It even has a compression strap, which I thought was pretty interesting choice, just considering the nature of this bag. But at 28 liters of capacity, I can still fit my Peak Design packing cube here, and there should be enough space at the top for the smaller packing cube. You can see they both fit there, but there's just not a lot of leftover space. This really takes up the full compartment, and then you don't really have the extra sort of spacious pockets on the other side. You do have the quick access pocket on the front, which has some volume. This could potentially hold the DOP kit if you wanted to sort of do a comparison between the two sides. This would be the equivalent. It would go there, and so I could still close this up, but it would all just look a little bit tighter, and it doesn't really leave much room for anything else. For the shoes, I guess I could squeeze them in there potentially, but you know, those 2 liters of space with the layout of this bag really start to make a difference if travel is going to be your primary use case. So, you know, just some things to think about. I do really like the Transit Workpack Pro in that 28 liter size, but as I've continued to use this 30 liter light travel pack, it has really surprised me with how enjoyable it is to use, the versatility, how compact it feels. And you know, if you're looking for a lightweight, minimal travel bag that can definitely be carried on across a number of different airlines and might be a sneakily good personal item bag, this is gonna be a really interesting option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the 30 liter version of the Bellroy Lite Travel Pack. You can currently purchase this on the company's site. It's gonna come in at around $199, so definitely an investment, but you are getting something that's really solidly built, has a nice feature set, and is also gonna compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I mentioned a few times during the video, one of the first bags this made me think of is the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro, which was recently released in a 22 and 28 liter size. The 28 liter version in particular reminded me a lot of this bag. The layout on that's gonna be a little bit different. It's got a clamshell style opening versus more of the suitcase style that this one has, but it still has a very robust harness system, Bellroy's typical minimal, clean style, really nice organizational layout, great laptop protection. So that feels to me more like something that is designed to be a daily carry bag that can work as a travel bag. And so, you know, if you're looking for something with more of that type of layout, then that's gonna be an excellent alternative to this. The next bag this made me think of is the ULA Dragonfly, which is a really popular one bag travel option. Like this one, it's pretty lightweight. It's got a fairly simple layout, but super effective. You have the dual external water bottle pockets, a large main compartment that opens up clamshell style. You have quick access pocket, dedicated laptop area. It does come in 2 sizes. So I tried out the 30 liter, but there's also a 36 liter version that's available now. I believe comes in a couple of different fabrics. I used the Ultra version, which was, you know, very rugged, highly weather resistant, and so it just feels like a really solid bag overall. If you want something like this that's also gonna offer those external water bottle pockets, then it's gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Matador Seg 28, which has a really unique layout. It has built-in packing cubes that allow you to organize all of your stuff into various segments, really weather resistant and lightweight materials, comfortable harness system, good laptop protection. It has an external water bottle pocket, and it has a pretty unique duffel style layout. So it opens up kind of like a suitcase, but it's a big space. And then you have the packing cubes that are built in that you can also use, and it kind of adapts to whatever you're storing in the bag. So it really reminded me a lot of sort of the style of this bag. And if you want something that's a little bit more outdoorsy and that's just gonna give you some extra pockets, and that's gonna be an excellent option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Patagonia Mini MLC, which has been one of the most versatile bags that I've used over the past couple of years. Like this, it comes in at around 30 liters. Very simple but useful layout. It's got a clamshell style opening, external water bottle pocket, dedicated laptop area that offers a nice amount of protection. There's also some built-in organization for your tech and essentials. Got a quick access pocket, pretty comfortable harness system. One of the unique things about that bag is you can hide the straps away and then turn it into a shoulder bag with the waist belt that's actually included with the bag. It has a luggage pass through, so I've used that on a ton of different trips, even as a personal item, which is one of the things that I really like about that bag. It's got a fairly flexible structure. And so if you want something in this size range that's gonna offer you that additional flexibility with how you can carry the bag, then that's gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. With that being said, the 30-liter light travel pack holds up very well against all those options, and like the experience that I had with the 38-liter size, I've really enjoyed this. It surprised me with how much it can hold. I like the aesthetic, and I think this is a bag that's gonna be surprisingly versatile to a lot of people that try it out. So if you're looking for something that's a little lighter weight, that has a useful layout, and that's gonna be comfortable to wear, this is gonna be an excellent option to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the 30-liter light travel pack and how it compares to some of the other minimal travel bags that are currently on the market. If there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Bellroy for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.